Welcome back. It is 1589, last year of the decade, and today we are bringing some Sims back to life with Ambrosia, so I'm so excited about that. In the last one, Yasmina is trying to get out of her engagement. It's not working, but she is ready to make Ambrosia. Luke met Sophronia and started a friendship with her. Constance got engaged to Zechariah. Very exciting stuff. Oh, Arun and Watira got divorced, and Watira is totally leaving him. So that's how we're going to make a room in our household. This year, we have a few birthdays that I'm scared of, but we are just going to do this thing. So first, we have Wyman Hobart, who was born at the end of last year, who can't get an 8 or a 16. He did not. Then we have Herbert Waldrick, who was also born last year, can't get a 7, 14, or 19. Ooh. Okay. Oops. How did that happen? Come on. Okay. Beatrice Hobart. No 2, 4, or 6. Okay. We're okay. Okay. Constance. Constance and Mary, but Constance. Well, okay. So actually, Mary's a vampire, so she has different roles. But Constance. No 7 or 13. Constance. Whew. Okay. And then I have to check over here for the vampire role for teen. No 17 for Mary. Survived. And then, well, let's roll for Maria next. She has to get at least a 7. She does. Okay. And then for the two girls, marriage and babies. Okay, let's start with Constance. Will she get married? No 1 through 5. She will. How many babies? 6. Constance and Zechariah are going to have 6 babies. Larkin will have 6 babies. Everything is bolded. Okay. And then we have Mary. Will marry Mary and have children? She will, but she will have 1 child. That is actually really interesting to me because she is a vampire. So she only has 1 chance to have a vampire baby. Okay. Good work, team. Let's see. Townie birthdays. We have a couple. We have 3 teenagers becoming teens, so that's really exciting because we can add them to our marriage and baby section. So I'm excited about that. I think that's it. Let's get into the game so we can finally see Nicholas and Genevieve and Gwendolyn again. Alrighty, so our first order of business is to make room in our household, right? Because obviously we do not have room for 3 more Sims to move in with us, and but Watira is already leaving Arun, and she is going to take the children with her. She is leaving Arun here and just kind of walking away from that. He does not want her to also take the kids, but the kids are having a hard time with him lately, so I think they do just want to go with her. But on top of that, the Hobards are a little bit better than the Venians at, getting what they want. So they are very angry with each other. Arun especially is very angry. I think Watira is just sad. Like, she's been unhappy for a while, and she's upset that it's come to this because she didn't want it to come to this. She didn't want to have to divorce him and leave with the children. She wanted to, be a family, and just ever since they moved into the Larkin household, it's just all been downhill. So unfortunately, that's where we're at currently. They're just going to elope really quickly. Watira and Richard, I'm going to pull in a lot from the gallery, see where we're going with that. So we'll just grab a little church and put it right here and just get them married. Just a small wedding. I mean, they've both already been married before. They're both older. They don't need like a big giant thing. So they are just going to do that. We've already moved them in. For some reason, my game lately has been a little glitchy in the whole move in thing. So that's why I wanted to move them in first before, I actually got them married. And then I am going to add her to this. Honestly, I'm wondering if I should add her kids to it too. I'm just really not sure, but I think it's okay to not add them, but she's marrying one of our Sims, which means that gets her on the tree. That's like the technicality there. So here she is. And We are going to change her outfits to white and change her last name, and then we'll head back to our household. So here she is. She looks great. I think she's going to be much happier. Obviously, we're still going to see her a lot. Like, we still have a lot going on with her. I mean, even Nick's going to come back, and when he comes back, he's going to be like, "What happened?" you know. So, also, what is happening here? What is she wearing? Oh my gosh, this is just really wild. Um, Okay, so the family is going to get together and they're going to be like, look, we can do it now. We have the chance to bring everybody back. We're ready to bring them back. We probably should tell Arun since he's here and he's going to see things happening. So we don't really have a lot of choice there. So they're talking about how excited they are that their family is going to be back with them and how they can't wait. And it's just like such a good, feel good, like we're ready. We're going to do this. So they come over and they talk to Arun and they're like, look, Arun, the truth is we've been working really hard in order to bring our family members back to life. And so we're ready to do that now. We're just letting you know because obviously you live here, you're going to notice that people are coming back to life. And Arun is actually excited because he's obviously feeling really heartbroken over losing Watira. And I think that, he is actually excited that Nicholas is going to be back in his life. So I do think that he's excited about that. And we'll see where we go from there. So what we need to do first is come down here and call forth the ghosts so that we can get them to come and eat the ambrosia. Of course, they like to be difficult, so I'm just going to add them to the household, and then we'll control them to eat the ambrosia. We are just basically calling the ghosts. They've been mourning their family over time. The ghosts have shown up over time. I think that probably the ghosts have kind of an idea of what's going on, and honestly, I don't think that any of them would really turn down the opportunity to be alive again. I think Nicholas really does want that opportunity to. Why is there a fire? Stop it with the fires. I took every fireplace out of this house. I think Nicholas does want the opportunity to actually be a father, be a good father. And obviously, the girls did not really get to live their lives. They didn't get to get married or have kids. Or obviously, we know they're not supposed to have kids. But, that kind of stuff. Like, that's the issue. So anyway, here is the first batch, and we're going to go from youngest to oldest because obviously Nicholas would be like, okay, let the girls come back first. So Gwen is going to be the first one to be coming back to life. Then we'll get Genevieve queued up, and then we'll get Nicholas queued up. So we are doing really well. We have it. We have the ambrosia, you guys, and it's so exciting. So here she goes. She is just finishing her meal so that she can come back to life, and there it is. Oh, so they're coming back. They're coming back, and honestly, the only reason that I went through all of this for them was mostly because they died unexpectedly and not due to the rolls or anything. Like, they weren't supposed to die according to our game. So because of that, I felt okay bringing them back. Again, if they had died naturally, I think it would have been a different story. Regardless, we did just have a baby be born. Bertha Waldrick was just born. So hopefully they can keep some kids alive in the Waldrick family. They're not doing too good lately. But we have a new baby. They have 2 kids alive right now. I also don't know what our butler has been wearing lately. I'm going to have to give her a new outfit today. But anyway, so everyone is really excited to be back. Cue all the hugs and happiness and just spending time together and, trying their best to kind of reacquaint themselves with each other. And then, I'm adding them back into the spreadsheet. Of course, they've all reset their ages, so I don't know how we're going to deal with that yet. But they're also happy and they're feeling good. They're happy to see each other. We're rejoining the clubs. It's just really nice. I think everybody is really happy, and Nicholas is just going to come and basically thank Arun and be like, thank you for taking care of my children while I was gone. I really appreciate it. I'm just really grateful to you for that. And, obviously he's going to ask him, where'd Watira go? Where are the kids? What's going on? And Arun's going to basically say that, he's not going to give the full story of all the conflict and everything, but he's just going to kind of be like, Watira left me for another man. She took the children. And Marie and Luke aren't together anymore. And of course, Nicholas is like, wait, what? Um, he is really concerned about that. But he's like, don't worry, because Constance and Zechariah are now going to be together. And Nicholas is like, what? What's going on here? But he's going to have time over time to process all of that. But meanwhile, Arun and Nicholas are very happy to see each other and get a little woohoo action in. I mean, how many years has it been? Poor Nicholas hasn't had any opportunities. So he is trying to, come back to life and really, start getting back into living. So he is very happy that Arun is here. And then we're going to start baking the birthday cake for Constance's birthday. What a lovely birthday present for Constance to have her family back. So we're very happy about that. And so we're going to invite some people over. It's also going to be kind of an announcement to the world that they're back, which, I mean, who even knows? Because it's definitely a weird thing. Like, are people even going to understand, right? Like, hey, like, here they are, they're back. And like, excuse me. That's kind of concerning. But anyway, um, so we are going to have the birthday party. Constance is going to age up into a teenager. Gorgeous, of course. She actually looks a lot like her dad, which I totally love. Not a lot of the kids, well, okay, I'm such a liar because I spend the rest of this video getting Luke and Nicholas mixed up with each other because they look so similar. But I'm like, she looks like her dad, doesn't she? I feel like she looks like Nicholas. So, yeah, it's nice. But I shouldn't have given her the same hair as Genevieve because I also get confused by that. But anyway, here she is. And I was like, oh, actually, maybe I should have her wear like the mix and match kind of outfit type of thing. But anyway, here she is, our Constance, aging up into a teenager, already betrothed, very excited for the future. I'm really, I think that she just she just aged up to a teenager. Her family's back. She's happy. It's just really a feel good kind of moment here. But of course, everybody is like, whoa, like how did they come back to life? How did that even happen? Like, what is going on here? And there's a lot of, curiosity and also concern, right? Like, what kind of, sacrilege is this? But, right now people are mostly just curious. We can see that our two guys are here. William talking to Gwen. But anyway, so we're here and we're going to finish out the birthday party activities and just enjoying and trying to have that feel good time before we get right back into the drama, right? So we want to focus a little bit on that first. And then, yeah, so the queen is, of course, inquiring. I mean, she's elderly and she is really honest about like being curious about how they came back because she wants to, right? Like she's like, wait a second, like could I do that too? But anyway, so now again, the butler outfit's got to fix it. So, yeah, so here we are. And then we're going to have Nicholas and Yasmina actually have a conversation with each other because Yasmina has kind of been waiting for her father to get back to help her with this situation that she's dealing with her, engagement and all of that stuff. So she's talking to him and basically coming over to him and being like, great, you're back. Now can you help me? And of course, Nicholas wants to be that good dad. He wants to be, someone who's there for his kids. And he really wants to make up for lost time, especially because Yasmina has had it really hard. Like, keep in mind, Yasmina has had to take care of her siblings. She's been the oldest sibling. She's been really the one who did everything to get the ambrosia. She's just really, really had a lot on her plate, and now that her dad is back, I just hit my microphone, sorry. Now that her dad is back, she, they're both looking forward to kind of taking some of that off of her plate. So she's going to tell her dad about the situation, and he's going to be like, look, you should marry someone you want to be with. I made the mistake of marrying not for love, and it was really difficult, and it was difficult on my children. It was difficult in my life. And I didn't want to be with her. I wanted to be with someone else. And so he basically tells her, like, why don't you appeal to his sensibilities of like children and loyalty and fidelity, and basically be like, look, now she's going to come and she's going to use Nicholas's advice to tell William and basically be like, look, you don't want to be my husband because I don't want to be your wife. What are you going to do? Am I going to cheat on you with your brother? Are we going to have affair babies? Are you going to have illegitimate children running around? Like, are you going to have a problem because your wife doesn't want to be with you? And William's like, oh, that could be an issue, right? Like, that could be a big problem. And so he's like, do I even want to get into this mess in the first place? Obviously, she's got her family members coming in and out during this conversation, kind of, checking in. And Luke is just like right beside her the whole time. I love that. They have really been so close ever since all the stuff happened. But basically, William's like, okay, well, if you can convince the queen, and if you can find me another wife who will be loyal and will be a proper wife to me, I will agree. If you can basically make me whole, I'm not in trouble with the queen, and I am still getting married, then we can call it good. So Yasmina is now in the position where she can solve this problem. She just needs to do a few things first. So, the twins are also chatting with each other. They have been through a lot, obviously, and now they are trying to get back to things, and they're just kind of chit-chatting, gossiping, whatever, like talking about like, oh, what's our plan now? Like, are you going to go back to that guy that you liked? Like, do you think he's still married? And Gwendolyn is really worried because we know that she was in love with Magdalena. We know that. But, I mean, she hasn't seen Magdalena in how many years? Like, she's been dead, and Magdalena has aged up, has moved on. Like, is she married? Is she this? Is she that? And Gwen is really scared to kind of find out how much the world has moved on without her. And so is Genevieve, because she had that guy that she really liked, and now she's concerned, right? She's worried that maybe he already got married and like went off somewhere, like we don't know. So, I mean, we know, but anyway, they don't know. So there's that. Also, I'm taking away the graves now. And so Nicholas and Arun are just chatting some more. Nicholas is trying to get some more information about like what is going on, like why did Marie and Luke break up, like what is going on. And Arun is like, well, they just like weren't meant to be together. And so, but Constance and Zechariah just really clicked. They really like each other, like all this stuff. And so they're just having these conversations to kind of catch Nicholas up to speed, because he's like has no idea what has been going on, right? He has no idea what has been going on. I mean, he kind of popped in and out as a ghost, but it's not like was savvy to everything that was happening, and he wants to, be caught up with that. And so then it is Christmas, so I am just going to go through and have everyone doing the Christmas stuff. We're going to have Yasmina, of course, cook a grand meal, call everybody to it. Everybody's going to be giving each other presents and just happy and just spending Christmas as a family and spending it together. And it's just really, I'm trying to be heartwarming, like think about how this would feel to them to finally have fulfilled their goal, finally have their family back together and be able to spend Christmas together. And it's just really special. It really, really is. It's very nice. And I'm very happy for them. And I feel good about it. So there is that. And then, yeah, you can be jokesters. But yeah, so they're just having their Christmas time. And then after that, we'll head out again. But I did want them to all get their Christmas stuff handled, which we are still at the very beginning here, because it's so weird too, because look, now Yasmina is older than her sisters. And so is Luke. They're about the same age as Constance now, which is just so weird. I don't know yet what we're going to do about the age situation. Like, I didn't realize it like totally reset their ages. I thought they'd be part of the way through teenageness, but we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, we are here with everybody, just having a good time, spending time together and enjoying. And then, we're going to then have Yasmina invite William out and introduce him to someone. So, of course, as you've probably guessed, I feel like you could have had two guesses, but the person that we are going to introduce him to is none other than our BFF, Lavina. Lavina kind of always complained that she, was having trouble because of her family status finding a good husband, and she's just such a good person, and Yasmina just loves her so much, as maybe in both ways, but she just really cares about her as a friend, and she knows that Lavina would be an excellent wife, and so she's going to introduce them and kind of chalk them up to each other and be like, William is a really good guy. He is a good guy. I'm just not in love with him, and he's way cooler than his dad, who yelled at me for like hours and hours. But she's basically saying that William isn't a bad guy. He is going to be a great husband. And then she says to William about Lavina, like, Lavina is just such a good person, and she is going to be such a faithful and dutiful wife, and she is going to have lots of kids, and that you guys are going to have a great time. And William is a little concerned about Lavina's status. She's not a titled family at all, but Yasmina basically says, like, you're not going to find someone who is as kind and as, like, not, like, obviously Lavina would be happy to be married to a duke, right? But she wasn't out there, like, trying to hunt for guys with titles, So she is going to basically put them two together. We're going to get them, I don't know if we're going to get them married next time, but maybe the time after. We still have to deal with the queen before we can get them married, but she did just want to introduce them and kind of let them kind of go off and do their thing and everything. And look, Marie's in the background. I feel like Marie could be the other option that you might have thought of, because Marie obviously was very mad at Yasmina for breaking up with William. But, I think that, Yasmina and Marie kind of being enemies at this point, she would never try to get her to be be in a relationship with William, who she does think is a good guy. And again, I'm going to find out that restaurants just do not work in my game. I don't know what the problem is. It's so infuriating. Hopefully when they do. So this is my last I know I'm like a month ahead, but this is my last video before the game update, before Life and Death. So I'm glad that I filmed ahead, just because I want to make sure that I give enough time for not only, the game update and then mods to update, and like hopefully there's no breaking issues and all this other stuff. So we are going to do our best there and focus on, we'll probably do a little catching up here in the timeline of life. But anyway, so Nicholas is then going to be going out with Sophronia, and he is just going to come and see her. She leaves, of course. We can't see her, and it's just a total disaster. But anyway, so sorry, it's Luke. Oh my gosh, see, I'm telling you, I'm going to get them mixed up all the time. They look so alike. But yeah, so now that Yasmina is working on her stuff, we also have Luke kind of, going to church and having that, and then seeing Sophronia at church and chatting with her and, getting to know her a bit and stuff. And they're already BFFs. They are. And so things kind of like turn into flirty territory, because obviously, they're already so close and they care a lot about each other, and they just click. And like, look how fast everything is going up. It's just so easy for them. And Luke is like, wow, I never knew that like it could be so easy. Like, I never knew that I could have such a good romance. And like, look at this cute sentiment. It says like, in love with my best friend or whatever. And that is so cute. And then she has a crush on him. And I'm just like, obviously the game is telling me that they're meant to be together. And then also, she proposes. She proposes to him. So of course we're going to accept. And I think that Luke, so I know I'm talking this up. They click. It's easy. Everything's great. But that doesn't mean that everything is going to be great. Like, you guys are obviously rushing into things. So, we're definitely rushing into things a bit and concerned about that. But, anyway. So we are now going to do the birthday thing, and my mouse is going to stop working and part of the way through it, so I just stopped the recording because I have to go find batteries and whatever. So anyway, birthdays. We have Wymond Hobart becoming an infant, Herbert Waldrick dying, Beatrice Hobart becoming a child, Constance Larkin becoming a teenager, Mary Whitehead becoming a teenager, Tobias Stroud becoming a teenager, Arabella Stroud becoming a teenager, Bertram Waldrick becoming a teenager, and Bertha Waldrick being born and becoming an infant. And then on the last day of the year, we do have a last baby be born, a little girl to Adele. So we'll roll for her infant role next year, but in the next video, we'll have a decades recap. So I hope you're excited for that, and I'll catch you in the next one.